Howdy, guys. This is Travis from College Station. One thing I wanted to bring up was I honestly think that the Pro Tour needs to get away from where USDGC is and that whole concept right now. Not saying they need to get rid of like the US Championships, but for someone like me, I started kind of around when Brody started. I started like February or so of that 2020. Um, and I've never watched USDGC. I watched the final round last year because it was free on YouTube, but if you think about the bump in subscribers that we've had, both to the network and just members of the PDGA in that past few years, I know y'all talk a lot about the prestige of the event. To us, there really isn't that prestige because we've only been around for a few years. I wouldn't say most, but a lot of people have only been around for a few years at this point. And I think it's only going to get worse with regards to Innova being in control of a Pro Tour major and then having to deal with a course that's at a college campus. Um, Watching the final round last year, yes, it's exciting, but I do think it is weird seeing the hole where you throw from the Coliseum. Basically, you're basically on like the steps of another building, and there's people. You're throwing around batting, baseball fields and stuff like that. I think we need to work on getting away from that event probably as soon as we can, because the problem now is that there's not that prestige for a lot of people, so you can move it. But if you wait another 5-6 years, well, now there's going to be that prestige to the event. And now it's going to be harder to move, and more fans are going to be upset about moving it later than if you move it now.
So there you have it. Fascinating points brought up by Travis. Mainly the reason I picked that is because I am one of the people who is like suckered into the prestige of USDGC. And Trevor brought it up. I don't remember if it was on Grip Locked or we just were having a conversation after Grip Locked one day. But Trevor brought it up. He goes, what's funny to me is if USDGC was a brand new tournament this year, he was like, Hunter, you and I would hate it. We would come after it because of the way the course is, where the course is at, and like so much about the like course design and stuff like that. But because it has history, we like are in love with it. And I was like, that's a great point. And then the side point he also made is the subscription model of how you have to watch it. Obviously, this year they've switched it up. If you're a Disc Golf Network subscriber at all, you'll be able to watch it. But over the past few years, that hasn't been true. So if you're a new player to the sport, I can fully see where USDGC, to me and to other players, that started around the same time as me or before me, it is the like most prestigious event. And to a lot of players on tour, it is like the most elite title. But I wanted to hear your opinion now too, Brody, as being a new player who has now played USDGC. Did it feel special to you, or did it just feel like
No.
another event and you're like, why am I throwing from a basketball stadium?
W.R. Jackson feels special.
Yeah.
That course doesn't feel special.
Yeah. So he might be onto something, that change is inevitable at USDGC. We've talked about that multiple times. The course can't be there forever. I think Innova's aware of that. We've also talked about multiple times how it's an issue that Innova or US Disc Golf has USDGC trademarked, to where the PDGA, doesn't really have that much control. But if there was ever a time to move it and to make adjustments, it is probably in the next year or two. Because as much as that would suck, I think it would probably be for the better of the event.
I mean, you just got to try your best to try to find courses that feel like disc golf is the priority.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
Which
his points are valid. Like when you're watching, you're throwing from buildings, you're throwing around baseball fields. Yeah, it doesn't feel as special as if, I will say at MCO that was the benefit of the course, is you're just out there. It's just a disc golf course. There's nothing else out there.
Yeah. Now I got to ask you about, because you just brought up W.R. Jackson feeling special, and I 100% agree. I think it's a course that should be used very frequently on the Pro Tour / major circuit. But one thing I noticed was, if you look at the ticket sales, the pre-sales for tickets and the online sales for tickets, they're only 400 spots a day. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something where they're going to open up more, but I know a big issue with this park
Doubtful.
is the parking in general.
There's no parking.
Yeah, so typically what they've done in the past is like players park at the course, and then you're parking kind of along the road or farther up, and either being shuttled in or having a long
Where are we
walk
parking at the course?
in
There's like
front of.
40 spots.
Mm-hmm.
There's 40 spots.
And there's a parking lot if you go farther down. I think it's a boat ramp, past the course, I believe, and then they were running shuttles. So like where you turn
Oh,
left to
okay.
be turning into the PDGA headquarters, you keep going
Because
straight.
because I think everything in front of the building is just going to be like staff parking. But yeah, the parking there is not great. And the other thing is like maximum 100 people per hole.
Yeah, but that's what's fascinating is
Maybe.
like we're at a point in disc golf where limiting a major gallery to 400 people, it just seems crazy to me. Like that doesn't seem. I don't know.
Are they sold out? Are they sold out?
I
they're
don't
not-
think
they're
not all
not-
of them. Not all of them. But
If
they're
they're
the
not sold out,
pre-fills.
then okay,
When
yeah. But if they don't sell out, they don't sell out. Then
Yes,
it's like
correct.
you don't have an issue.
Correct. But thinking back to 2018 Worlds, I believe was there. It was obviously, I believe, free to attend. There had to be more than 400 spectators. When I'm thinking back to it, maybe it was just at the fort.
I mean,
That was
I
the other
have a hard
course?
time. I have a hard time believing we're going to go to any tour event and there's going to be less than 400 people that want to go.
That's what I'm
I have
saying.
a hard time.
So that's where
I feel
I'm
like
just,
the numbers
I'm
getting
just
closer and
shocked.
closer to 1,000.
Yeah, I'm just
There-
surprised that there's a major with only 400 players because like I think that's something that's going to have to be taken into account. The bigger and bigger the sport gets, is like majors need to be strategic of big time disc golf areas, or at least bigger cities that can support everything the Pro Tour is bringing in, because that's a big revenue generator. Like if a major came to Lynchburg, great, that's sick. We're not going to be able to field nearly as many spectators as if a major went to Charlotte. And so for the Pro Tour, it should be a lot more attractive for that major to go to Charlotte, regardless of if the course is better in Lynchburg than Charlotte. I'm not taking a shot at Charlotte courses. I'm just saying locations. Please don't come after me.
Everything,
But you got to look at
everything
stuff like that.
everything has to be considered.
Yes.
It's not just how good is the course; it's literally everything else. MCO, like the course wasn't, in my opinion, wasn't at pro level just yet, but they have incredible amount of land there, so they can make that course pro level.
Yeah.
Not hard to do. Parking was great. I think they had food shuttles out there. Plentiful space for spectators to watch. Really good spots too, where you could stand and see like 4 different holes. So like as a whole, that course, like that event has everything you need for a disc golf pro tour event. It's tough when you start looking at a course like WR Jackson, because I was talking about this earlier. This is the first course that we've played this season that I'm actually excited to play.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that good.
Yeah.
It's
Of course, it's incredible.
It's that fun to play. And so as that's where it's tough, because it is such a good course, but it's like, how the heck are you, like, how if disc golf continues to grow, how are you going to have 5,000 people on this course?
Yeah. You can't.
You're not. It's impossible. So like, are you wanting to limit yourself to be like, well, the course is so good though, or is there, I don't know, can you do like some sort of like Avatar thing where you put like rainforest walkways up in the trees?
Hey, there you go. There's some ideas. What about just helicopter tours?
What?
Everyone's in helicopters.
What? No, what about rope swings? And you can just rope swing from platform to platform.
Now we're talking zip lines all over the course.
Just Rainforest Cafe the whole course out. Everyone's up in the tree balconies. Get some ambiance up there with some monkey noises.
If disc golf had some like crazy budgets, doing like tree houses with bridges between, where you like show up to a tree house and like that's like the
Incredible.
bar with snacks and stuff like that. You're sitting up there watching the 18th green.
Incredible.
I mean, that could be. We're talking years from now. That's the future.
How's that years from now? People put tree houses in their backyards all the time.
Because the treehouse has to be regulated to fit like 50 people. We're talking a tree
fine.
clubhouse. We're talking like
Get like
treehouse masters from Animal Planet coming out.
Like
Yeah,
it might as well be a building.
Yeah, it's just a building and a tree, and like 5 trees are supporting this clubhouse.
Get 5 dads, and they'll knock it out on a weekend. No
And
problem.
then just bridges. I mean,
tons of bridges.
courses that have like, Waco, where it has like wooded stretches. If that's like only a disc golf park, you like get to the wooden stretches and the spectators go up the stairs and they're elevated on bridges so they can watch the wooden sections and come back out.
And they're in like the aquarium glass. So that way if like a spray, someone sprays it off the tee, it just slams in the glass and no one can get hurt.
Boom.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we just solved
incredible.
it. There you go. That's how you keep your
incredible.
wooden courses around. Solved by debate.
I really wish we were making thumbnails for this podcast, like not just our faces, because like that.
That's for a clip. Silas will clip that.
I know, but if we could like Photoshop, well, maybe that's what we need, Silas. Maybe we need thumbnails for the clips, because like in my head, I'm thinking like you get like a shot of me throwing in a wooded course, but then you like Photoshop up like tree houses.
Oh, I'll make it happen, man.
All in the trees. And like that thumbnail is like, oh gosh, that'd be sweet.
All right.
All right.
It'll be in by tomorrow, boss.
Perfect.